This is at 14 inches versus like the 17
It's
inches.
a real small screen for lap gaming. Yeah.
Yeah, it still runs 1080p, so you're 1920 by 1080 or 1020. And, speed-wise, it's fast. But here, I just want to point out some stuff. I mean, that's kind of funny and cool at the same time. I have to point this out. This is pretty hilarious. You can actually change the lights on this thing. So you can actually choose the light on your mouse pad.
The trackpad. Yeah. Tilt your head a little bit because we can't see it. Right. The trackpad's lit up.
Yeah.
It's glowing.
And you could change it to a color. You could even have it pulsing. What? Yeah. Here's the other part too. You can actually change the lights individually. So you can actually change a light over here on the front. You can have it pulsing. You can select that it's yellow, and then once you point it, you can actually morph the colors or have it pulse. And so I could select something like yellow.
That's just silly.
It's ridiculous.
But I guess if you take it to a LAN party and you did spend a little extra because the Alienwares aren't cheap, you got to have something to show for it.
Yeah.
Some fancy trim.
Yes.
How is it, though, as a computer?
So as a computer, I mean, it does all the normal stuff that you expect. The only thing that is probably not as normal is it's running Windows 7. So, everything's running Windows 8.1.
Is that a disadvantage for gaming or an advantage?
Not so much, because it's more of the same thing, right? Because you can still run the same thing on 8. So on 7, you're just going with the start menu. You're going to be running Steam on this thing anyway. So what I'm running
That's a good point. So it doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah.
So
the operating system kind of gets out of the way.
Yeah. So the only thing now I could probably show you that's probably really important is the games. What does it look like? How does it perform?
1080p at a 14-inch screen is a very high dots per inch. Very high.
Here's something. This is a game called Company of Heroes. It's an RTS.
Do you find it annoying how bright that Alienware is? It almost looks like it's part of the game.
Yeah, it kind of gets in the way.
I don't want to see their branding. I'd cover that up.
But this is pretty much how. This is Company of Heroes, and you can see that performance-wise, when this is running about medium to high settings on the game. Playing this game is 60 frames per second, so you can see that it's not really all that crazy in the hardware. Now you could probably run some first-person shooters like Battlefield 4 and all that stuff, but here's the score that we got running 3D Mark, which is probably the most important thing you want to know. So this right here ran about a 5947. So this is just a little bit higher than your typical gaming laptop.
That's the orange bar
Yeah, this is the
there?
orange bar here. So it's about 19% better in most gaming laptops that are out there running 3D Mark. And so that's really pretty good considering all that's in here. Now, I haven't really got a chance to talk about the specs, so I'm just going to run through it real quick.
Okay.
This has an i7. This has 3 USB 3.0 ports. It has it has a feeder. It doesn't have like a drive where you can actually pop the drive out. It's a feeding drive where you have to show this. This is hilarious.
What do you mean, a feeder?
Like, this actually has a slot drive.
Oh.
So you actually...
I haven't seen those in a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen those in a while either.
Yeah.
So you have to eject it through...
software.
Through software, yeah. But for the most part, this laptop, it can run pretty much most games that you'd expect to run on it.
Now, is it dedicated graphics or motherboard, Iris graphics? What
this is GeForce. It's 765.
It's GTX 765.
Yes,
okay.
765. And it runs really well. I mean, I'm just going to go back to this game again. And hopefully I could show some more demos on some of the stuff here. Let me see if I could do some more zooming in here. But yeah, this is just a bunch of units moving around. Let's see if I could target something here. Yeah, so you can see that. It's really not so...
This isn't a super challenging game,
Yeah, it's not so challenging game in terms of pushing its performance. But in terms of running 3D Mark and all the other first-person shooters that you see...
Benchmarks are good.
Yeah, the benchmarks are good.
I'd expect that from Alienware. Now, here's the question. You clearly play a price for that yellow Alienware, or blue or green or red, whatever color you want to make that logo. Because of the name, how much more is this? Well, how much is this laptop?
So we have the price range starts at $1099 and ends up at $1599.
That's not bad. As configured is $1099?
No, this one right here, this particular configuration, this one's $1599. So this is the highest end one.
Okay.
This comes with 16 gigs of RAM. It has an SSD paired with a regular hard drive with 1 terabyte total. So you're looking at 256 gigabytes of SSD. And then 1 terabyte. I mean, 750.
Is it a hybrid drive or is
No, it's actually 2 drives in here.
It is 2 separate drives.
Yeah.
So that sounds pretty good. Let's get the pros and cons on the Alienware 14-inch gaming laptop.
It has ludicrous speed. It's really fast. The lights are customizable, and it has tons of ports and amenities. On the con side, you're looking at a 14-inch screen, which you're typically seeing on 17 inches for gaming laptops, and it has a weird Blu-ray, feeder slot thing, and then the weight, obviously.
Right.
But other than that, it's a very solid laptop. And in the end, I would give this, just based on its price alone and the amenities that it provides.
You can find out more about this fantastic offer by clicking the link in the description.